Well, I got my Polaris loaded up, my Pro XP Ultimate, and we are actually taking it back to the dealership. Now, it's already been to the dealership twice on codes that have been popping up, and the code that's popping up on it now is the O2 sensor, which is right there. Alright, so that's the code that's popping up now. Now, I'm going to go ahead and explain it to you. I only have 847 miles on this thing. I went ahead and removed the O2 sensor off the exhaust, and when I removed it, it looked like it was brand new. So why it has a reading of O2 sensor going bad, I don't understand. Now, I did install an Aftermarket Assassins muffler onto my RZR, but I cannot see that muffler changing anything at all just from bolting a muffler on it. I recently put the charge tube, the factory charge tube, back on the machine. I had comments left on my other video that I posted about the 1 year walk around, or whatever you want to call it, and they said that I had to get my machine retuned when I put high performance parts on it, which basically makes sense. So the dealership actually told me, they said, hey, there's probably your problem, so you need to buy that tube and you need to replace it and put the factory one back on. So I went ahead and bought the factory one, because let me tell you what happened to the factory one that was actually on there. When we were cleaning my shop out, my wife, meaning the body shop girl, actually threw the original one in the trash because she thought it was trash. So yeah, she threw it in the trash, and I ended up spending $300 for another charge tube kit and a clamp kit to put the factory original stuff back on it. So the aftermarket charge tube, which is this black tube right here, and is a pain in the ass to install, didn't fit really good in the first place. To me, it was kind of hokey. It was kind of misconstrued. It wasn't properly formed and shaped to fit in there right. And I never even noticed any type of performance at all from putting it on there. So here's where the Aftermarket Assassins charge tube is sitting, and we'll bring it down here so I can show it to you, and you'll get an idea what I'm talking about. So you got the charge tube right here, and you can kind of basically see how everything hooks together. You got this neoprene hose here that goes to your blow-by tube and then hooks to your turbocharger, and then this operation right here hooks into your throttle body. And then of course we got our map sensor that hooks into here. And I actually had somebody tell me that this here was leaking air. So yeah, a lot of backyard mechanics going on here. So this is the Aftermarket Assassins tube. Now I'm going to go ahead and explain something. I also went and bought this, and this is the blow-off tube for the turbo. So I took that off as well, and I put the factory one back on it. Now when I bought these, I'm going to go ahead and explain it to you. You can buy this kit right here. This was $400. This was a little over $400 for what you're looking at right there. But they also had an upgraded kit that comes with this little handheld computer toner, and I think that was $600. Don't quote me on that, I don't remember. But I specifically asked them, do I need to retune my machine? Do I need to retune it if I put this on here, and the muffler, and this thing right here? Do I really need, is it necessary to retune it? And they specifically told me, Aftermarket Assassins specifically told me, and I'm going to turn that around right there, they specifically told me, no, you don't have to retune your machine if you want to put this on there. It's not necessary. So I purchased the product from them, and that, when I installed this, That's when I started getting engine codes. When I put this on my side-by-side, and this thing right here, that's when I started getting the engine code. The engine lights were coming on and all this, and that's what led the dealership. The manager at the dealership told me, that's probably your problem if you put the factory one back on. And then of course we found out Minnie threw the factory one away, so I had to buy that. So I got 400 plus, I got almost 800 bucks in charging tubes. One other thing, and I'm gonna go ahead and bitch and complain about it. I'm gonna go ahead and bitch and complain. I spent a lot of money with Aftermarket Assassins. I'm not gonna bullshit you. Every aftermarket item that I purchased for my RZR, and we're talking performance parts for the motor and transmission and the clutches and all that, were from Aftermarket Assassins. And I'm gonna tell you, this is the thing I'm not happy with about these people. When you call them on the phone, they don't answer the phone. You have to leave a message or a text on the phone, and they will not call you back. They will text you. So the only way that you can get troubleshooting done or anything else with these people right here is with a text message. Now, of course, they're blaming it on high volume of calls, which most of these places say that. We're getting high volume calls, and we're so backed up with phone calls, and we'll get to you as soon as we can, and it's easier if you text us, and we'll text you back. So I sat there texting them about the charge tube, because it was the charge tube that I started having issues after I put the charge tube on. So, I mean, I texted these guys, I don't know, dozens of times. It took them a couple days to get back with me. I had issues with the clutch. I had to add more weights to the clutch hands or fingers, whatever you want to call them. I had to do that because I went by their chart and it felt like the clutch was slipping. They even told me, and this is when I had like 600 miles on it, they even told me, believe it or not, they told me you need to buy a brand new belt. So I bought a brand new belt for $180 fucking dollars. And it didn't change anything. It still drove the same. I got the old belt in there. Now this was Aftermarket Assassins that told me this. And then after I put all their bullshit in here for the clutch to compensate for the bigger wheels and tires and stuff like that, and then have a heavy duty clutch, I take it to the dealership and they said, your clutch is defective. We need to replace the main clutch housing. Okay, go ahead. So basically back to what we were talking about after that little bitch rant there on Aftermarket Assassins. And if they're watching this, maybe you guys, and there's only 2 of them, should go ahead and start talking to people in person on the phone instead of texting them, and you know, it's bullshit. Piss poor customer service, plain and simple. And that's how it is. I spent close to $2,500, $3,000 with these fucking guys. And, you know, they fucking text me. It's ridiculous. So I have taken all of the aftermarket high performance stuff off of my machine. It's all stock factory. The only thing that's high performance is the clutch and this muffler. That's it. That's all I have. The O2 sensor, which is right here, is before the muffler. So I was told by several people, one of them actually tunes these things, high performance sets them up and tunes them, said that your muffler will not change anything because it's actually, that's the last thing on the engine, and the O2 sensor is before that. So I can only go by what I'm told. Am I a dumbass? No, I'm not a dumbass. Okay? I'm not a stupid ass. I was told by Aftermarket Assassins, I was told, let me say that one more time. I was told by Aftermarket Assassins that by putting the charge tube on there and the blow off fucking deal, that I do not have to tune my engine. I do not have to, because I would have bought the tuner. I would have bought the tuner and I would have retuned my engine, okay, to specs necessary to use that item. I would have done that. But they specifically told me in text, no, you don't have to retune it. For all the money that I spent with them, you know, another $100 or $200 for some little bullshit computerized machine, I would have bought it. But they said, no, you don't have to. So we are now loaded up, and I'm going to leave at 6:45 in the morning to head out to the dealership, which is a 2-hour drive, 2.5-hour drive to the dealership, because I live in Moab, Utah, people. I'm out here in Moab, Utah. There ain't no dealerships around here. There's one in Price, Utah, and there's a couple in Grand Junction. The ones in Grand Junction, they'll tell you, yeah, we're backed up for 6 months, buddy. And then when you go up there, they don't have nothing in the shop. That's another scam right there with these fucking dealerships. You buy the extended warranty on them, and they scam you by saying, yeah, we'll make you an appointment in 6 months. Bring it in 6 months, and we'll figure it out. And then you got to leave it here for 3 weeks. That's a way that they can, you know, down the fucking warranty shit, okay? So I'm going to head out tomorrow and take my RZR back to the dealership. I've already taken there twice. Now, this is a 350-mile round trip. So I've already done that. That's 700 miles that I have driven this thing on a fucking trailer to get checked out and inspected to try to fix this fucking issue. I only have 834 miles on this machine. I have more hours and more time on a fucking trailer than I do on the fucking dirt and trails. We'll see you tomorrow morning. We're on our way. We're on our way to the dealership. I got to be there at 9 o'clock in the morning. So it's like 6:20, 6:15, and we're heading out. I didn't sleep at all. I didn't sleep. I mean, you know, you spend $34,000, you got $34,000 invested in a toy, because that's what this is, a toy. You got $30,000 invested in it, and you have to take it to the dealership and play their fucking warranty game, their extended warranty game of, oh yeah, we have to set an appointment. We have to give you an appointment. We don't have any openings for 2 months. So then your bullshit side-by-side machine basically sits in the garage most of the time because you don't want to fucking drive it. And yeah, so yeah, I didn't sleep all night last night. Okay, but this is the life of the corporation here. See, this is an example. This is an example of the way the corporation rules the fucking world right here. You know, y'all might think I'm going off the wall here and that I'm just some jerk off that, you know, has my head up my ass or whatever, okay? But, you know, this is the situation. I already know what they're gonna say, okay? Because these people that run these operations, these warranty deals and all this other crap, I already know what they're going to say. They're going to say, well, you know, you changed all that out, you didn't get a tune-up, and you didn't retune your machine, so, you know, that's why the codes are coming up. And now you got this muffler on there, this aftermarket muffler, and it's not a factory muffler, and all the specs on the computer are set for our factory muffler. So you have to go out, you're gonna have to go out and retune your machine for the muffler that you just spent $450 on.
So here's a case of let's just blame it on everybody else, and it's always your fucking fault, not ours. You see what I'm saying? Maybe that's possibly part of their training. That's what it is. It's part of their training. Make the owner feel like it's his fault because he's the one that fucked it up. You know, there's nothing wrong with our product. It's perfect in a shitty world. So I'm on my long fucking journey out to the dealership, which is almost 3 hours away. And I guess we'll see what happens. I have a feeling they're gonna say, yeah, okay, well, now that it's here, just leave it here and we'll call you. We'll give you a holler in a week or 2 or maybe 3. I've had this fucking thing for, okay, here's Mr. Asshole, gonna go 900 miles an hour. Fuck you. That's another thing I found out about this little town I live in here. Road rage is a constant thing out here on this highway. I thought that only happened in big cities. So yeah, I'm fucking pissed, okay? I'm motherfucking pissed. This is Pete, my friend Pete, your friend Pete, everybody's friend Pete. Getting pissed off. I didn't tune my machine. It's all because you didn't tune it. I specifically asked the motherfuckers, do I need to buy the tuner? Is it a necessity? No, it's not a necessity. No, you don't need to. Just bolt our parts on there and it'll work perfect. Never talk to the motherfuckers again after I spent $4,000 fucking dollars with them. Thank you, have a nice fuck all day, bitch! We finally made it over to the dealership. Of course, they don't want me to film them or film where I'm at. And they have basically said that if you are going to film or make videos, then we don't want to work on your machine. So I can't actually, we'll go ahead and do that just to show you that I'm here. Okay, so they are going to diagnose it. Now, when I talked to him a month ago, it was over a month ago, I asked him, I said, now, mind you, my machine is on warranty, and I asked him, I said, can you go ahead and order a O2 sensor so you can have it here? And he said, yeah, I'll go ahead and do that. That'll save us a lot of time. Well, when I get here today, a month later, oh yeah, they don't have any O2 sensors. Matter of fact, they won't be released until tomorrow for send out. And then we got to wait another week because it's got to go to Payson first, then it's got to come to us. And I'm like, motherfucker, man, what the fuck, dude? So he asked me if I wanted to hang out. I'm going to go ahead and hang out and while they put it on their computer and see what it says. And he says, well, it could be an easy fix or it could be something that we have to diagnose, and you have to leave it here and we'll run it up and down the highway and see if the code comes back on and blah, 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 blah. You know. Now, I only have a fucking muffler on there, that's it. I took all the other aftermarket shit off, okay? I don't need no retune job. I don't need it ported and polished. I don't need fucking new turbochargers. I don't need shit. It's got 800 fucking miles on it. I just want the motherfucker right, okay? $35,000 is what I got in this fucking thing.
Well, what we're looking at is an empty trailer that's not even hooked up to my truck. Yesterday, I went driving around for approximately 3 hours while my RZR was at the dealership. I decided, actually we decided, the service manager and me, why don't you wait around town for a little while and see if I could diagnose the situation and find out what the problem was. So that's basically what I did. But the only thing that I brought home with me back home was the rear cover, because my RZR is now sitting at the dealership. So what happened, I'm going to go ahead and explain to you. I went ahead and took the RZR over to the dealership, and I was actually wrong. It's not 700 miles round trip, it's 300 miles. I was so upset and confused that I wasn't thinking properly. It's actually 300-mile round trip, not 700 miles. So yeah, now that we've cleared that up, let's move forward. So I get to the dealership, he unloads it, he goes ahead and hooks the computer up to the machine. He comes back and says, well, here's some codes right here. I've never seen this code before though. And then once I get this code, I said, well, that's the code that we're talking about. That's the code. O2 sensor. Oh, well, I've never seen it before. The last few times you were here, we saw these other codes. Okay, I called you on it and I told you about it. So he says, well, let me check it out. Let me run some stats on it and do some spec situation and all this and see if we can get her rigged up. And then he decides, well, why don't you go ahead and go for a little drive, go to town, I'll give you a call back. So I decided I'm going to go up to Spring Canyon, you know, check it out, this, that, and the other. I go up there. About 2.5 hours later, I go back over to the dealership, and he says, well, we got a big problem. I said, problem about what? The readings that I was reading off of your RZR was not the readings I should have been reading, because I was actually reading readings for a Turbo S, not a Pro XP Ultimate. So I decided I was going to go ahead and leave it there. Then he says, I'm really sorry about this. We've been reading your machine wrong the whole time you've been bringing it up. I'm going to try to compensate you and do something about it. I told him I don't want to be compensated. I want the damn thing running like a brand new machine so I can fucking drive it without worries. That's the compensation I want. Fix the son of a bitch and go. He also stated, by putting those other parts on there, and I have been reading comments on the previous videos that I've posted, that the aftermarket parts, and this is my honest theory and overall review on putting aftermarket parts on your stock factory Polaris RZR, or if you have a Can-Am or whatever, stay away from that shit. Factory is the best way. Okay, the factory way is the best way. If you decide to put all this high performance bullshit on there, it's going to give you more chances of breaking down. It's going to give you more chances of codes popping up and all this other shit. And then you got to pay thousands of dollars to have your machine retuned and you're recalibrated and all this other crap. And to me, it's a waste of money. The type of driving that I do with my RZR is not extreme enough to put portals on it and extended control arms and fucking, you know, rebuild the motor with bigger pistons and all this other crap. All right, leave the fucking thing alone. I learned my lesson the hard way, that this aftermarket shit is a joke. I'll be contacting Assassins, because that's when all the shit started, is when I put that Aftermarket Assassins stuff on there, that charge tube and that disperser thing. That's when my machine started fucking up. And like I said, I specifically told them, if I need to buy a tuner, I'll buy it. No, you don't have to. No, you don't have to. No, you don't have to. Just bolt this stuff on there, you'll be fine.
So I'm going to contact them, and I'm going to send it back to them, and I'm going to contact my credit card company and tell them that I have a dispute. So I will be getting my $450 back on that. Aftermarket parts are designed for you to continually buy something to make it run and to continually work on it constantly to drive it and enjoy it. And if that's the way it is with this expensive, high-end aftermarket bullshit, I don't want nothing to do with it. Nothing. You see that right there? Are you looking at that? Do you see those pictures? You see that? Okay. All right, that's the charging tube system from Aftermarket Assassins that I purchased. And this charging tube system, okay, can you see that picture right there? Here we go, right there. Can you see that? Do you see where the glue is on the tube? That's because it was leaking air when I bought it. I told the guy about that, and he kind of like brushed it off, said, okay, well, I'll make a note of that, like I was a dumbass. And you see, that's the kind of deal you get when you deal with these aftermarket companies. You know, they treat you like you're dumb. Now, what I'm showing you here is a text. This is a text that I just texted them and told them that I'm returning these parts. Can you see how long this is? It's like a book. That's how long it is. Now, I told them I was sending all this stuff back and that I demand a full refund, which is about $450. And if I don't get it, I'm going to contact my credit card company, and then I will put a dispute on it, and then I'll get my money anyway. So anyway, this is what I wrote them. This is Pete Hughes in Moab, Utah. A few months back, I made a big purchase with you, which included these items right here. After I installed these items on my 2020 RZR, my engine lights came on reading full fuel system running lean. I spoke with you about this and you shrugged it off saying there was nothing wrong. I told you there was an air leak in the system and we traced it to the map sensor location, which I told you about at that time. You said you would make a note of it, but that you have never had any problems before. I have taken my RZR to the dealership 3 times on this issue, and they as well confirmed it is your parts that caused the problem. I reinstalled the factory tube and disperse valve and have no issues since then. I will be returning these parts for a full refund issued back to my credit card. If I don't hear from you when you receive the parts back, I will follow a dispute with my credit card company on this matter. I told you from the beginning these parts were defective and were not functioning properly, and you shrugged it off, basically treating me like a dumbass. I will also say that this texting crap is total bullshit for paying customers and have to go through this kind of scenario just to be in contact with you. The clutch system is still not working properly even after you told me I needed a new belt, $200 fucking dollars. And I went and bought one and it didn't do crap or change anything. So I'll leave it as is and go down the road. The muffler's great item and works perfect, but this charge tube has caused me nothing but grief. Don't think I'm some dumbass here. I've been in business for 42 years building and restoring custom cars and trucks, collision repair, motorcycles, LS2 conversions, and blah, 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 blah. And then I gave them my website. I have over 6,000 videos posted on YouTube and was planning on making several review videos on your products, but as of now, the only review I'm interested in is this charge tube crap. This is bullshit that you won't even talk to your paying customers and make them text you. Right there. So, I am going to retext them one more time is what I'm going to do. And then after I retext them again, I am going to box the parts up. I am going to take detailed pictures and videos of the parts that they are being sent back. And I will do that in a certified mail manner, meaning they have to sign for them. And then, if they do not contact me, after I find out that they have received the product, then I will call my credit card company and file a dispute. And my credit card company will give my money back to me. And then, on top of all that, I will go ahead and make some review videos of this company on these parts, which I have already started. So we'll be going to pick our RZR up here pretty soon, probably next week sometime. And hopefully we won't have any more problems with our $34,000 fucking go-kart. Hopefully.